beaucoup, moi. How exciting. Oh, does that mean I get to introduce everyone? Oh, fun. All right, cool. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Under the Table. We're playing a game called A Murder Most Foolish tonight. It is going to be a fun time. I hope so. But first, let's introduce our lovely cast of characters. I will, of course, be playing Detective Martha, who is, you know, as we all know, a wonderful detective who always gets everything right, naturally. You know, she's just a little old. What about Keith? Who are you playing today? All right, and John, what about you? Who are you playing tonight?
I'm John. I'm playing Darius. We're all trapped in my mind right now, and we're having a wonderful time celebrating out all the things I've seen and learned over the time in Cantor.
Yes, definitely.
Well, apparently Keith was muted.
Oh.
I'm thinking that might mean John is too.
Oh,
wait, no. Keith is producing. Never mind.
Keith, can you try again?
Popo, damn.
Hello, hi. It's me, it's Keith.
What I would have given for you to come back and just the why?
Oh no!
I am a professional. So tonight I will be playing Larkin, and I've invited all my bestest friends to come to this art gallery to see all of my cool art sculpture things.
How fun. And Solaris. I mean, Guilty. Who are you playing?
Hello, I'm Guilty Cosplay, and I am playing Solaris, who definitely, absolutely could not, has never committed a murder.
Never.
Not sus at all.
No, who would
I
ever do
agree.
that? None of us have ever committed any murders.
I agree.
Liv. I'm so used to just referring to everyone in game.
It's fine, bestie Martha. It's fine. Hi. My name's Liv. I will be playing Adana, who is, I guess, in this space, just like a young gal who loves art. Just big art aficionado. She's a student, I suppose. And technically speaking, Donna has killed a person. But I didn't do this one, I promise.
Or have you?
and
And
if we're counting that, Darius has killed lots of people. So
So maybe we should be looking other places.
maybe. And unfortunately, Cyrus, Tim will not be here tonight. But I will be trying to
most
play him
sus
the
of
best I
all.
can, obviously. With that in mind, shall we just jump into our game?
Let's go.
All right. So we last left off. Our lovely ragtag group of teammates had just showed up at Larkin's latest art exhibition. You walk in and into this huge white room, and there are many sculptures and some hard light paintings that are practically reaching out at you, some literally reaching out at you with hard light. But in the very center of this room is a tall rectangular box with a stairwell heading up to what appears to be an entrance inside of it. Larkin, you describe this as your greatest creation ever. It is a non-Euclidean subdimension. If you can enter into this room, there are thousands upon thousands of different rooms inside of it, with all sorts of wacky and zany physics that don't quite make sense to you. You look off to the side, and Martha is already gobbling down on some of the complimentary shrimp. And you also look across the room and you see two other people. Larkin has invited actually three other people, my mistake. An engineer who helped him with this project, getting it all sorted together. A bodyguard who is protecting his art because Larkin just feels a little like, protective of his things as of late for some reason. And then there is just a friend of his who's standing over in the corner. So, you guys have your free reign. What are you gonna do?
Really quick, what is the engineer here to do again?
The engineer helped Larkin build this sort of marvel of technology, so to speak.
Okay.
Sort of his co-author on this project.
And then
It's-
Larkin's friend.
It's my greatest creation. Have any of you seen those 20th century toys called Rubik's Cubes? It's kind of like that, but with no one has seen them.
I've heard of is it like the Bop It?
It's adjacent to the Bop It in that it was
Okay.
still made of plastique, which the 20th century just really loved to use.
It's a little barbaric.
Very barbaric, very sharp, very gross.
Not
Too
good for the
slick.
environment.
Too
Heard they
small.
outlawed that really recently.
It's a choking hazard, I swear. If you get that in your mouth, you just die.
It's too early.
Well,
So your inspiration was the Rubik's Cube. Okay, that's amazing. That's really cool.
yes,
Isn't
created
that
by.
Animal with very long horns.
Yes, that was a Rubik's. But the Rubik's Cube was created by Dr. Rubik's, who was a famed chiropractor, actually.
Oh, so it has to do with anatomy training then.
Yes.
Hence the horns.
Exactly.
Ah, that makes sense. Yes.
Wow.
So what do you do with this horny cube?
Well, let me show you. Come, follow me. And I ascend the hard light stairs and open the door into this cube, and through it, I imagined Martha or
So,
Alex.
I'm assuming you all follow Larkin inside, including these three new friends. And inside of this room is just a long, long hallway, impossibly long for the small size of this cube. You don't know how or why, but it's just incredibly long, and there are doors lining the hallway, each of them unmarked, each of them seemingly different, but all the same.
Pick a
you
door.
all have-
Any door. They're all different. They all go to different places.
Darius?
Why don't we go through this one? And I think he just opens the door and walks in.
Okay. You all. Oh, I should mention, Martha is still on the shrimp. She'll join you later.
Yeah, makes sense.
So you all enter into this first room, and it just appears to be a normal little tea room. There's a cute table, a nice fireplace, some chairs. But as you approach the table and chairs, somehow it doesn't feel like you're getting any closer, but the table and chairs keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until they're like 10 feet tall in front of you.
I pull a ladder out from somewhere and I just start climbing it to get to the top of the table.
Adana gathers up the skirt of her dress and starts running around the table legs, and she's like, "Look! I'm under the table! Wow!" Had to.
Larkin, as you climb up to the top of the table, you find some giant cookies for you to eat.
Nice. I will pick what would Larkin go for? I think he would want the M&M cookie, and he would just take an M&M from off its top and break it in half and just start nibbling on it.
Oh, that's lovely. As you remove that M&M, you look inside of where the M&M was, and there's a hole.
I found a hole. Y'all want to jump in it?
A hole in this horny
What?
box. Let's go.
Is that
But
what?
It's
Where does
probably
it-
not OSHA safe, but
Didn't you construct this? Shouldn't you know where it goes?
No, each room is completely random.
So you did.
Darius, is this safe?
The
I don't know.
the engineer speaks
Why not?
up in a very quiet voice and
Ah,
goes,
fuck, how did he get here?
the engineer is they, them, by the way.
Excuse me, how did they get here?
They just go, sometimes if you can imagine the correct place that you want to go, you'll end up there, but there's no guarantee.
Oh. Who wants to go in first? We'll hold hands.
They're great, aren't
This
they?
goes... Darius, if this goes sour, can you get us back to your void?
Darius checks his hip. Is his clicker there?
Yeah, it sure is there.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Sure.
Alright, then Solaris will link arms with Darius.
Wait. If we jump into the hole and it takes us where we're thinking of going, but we all think of different places.
Larkin
Is that a problem?
jumps.
Uh-oh. You're right.
I would like to be wherever Larkin is.
That's not a place.
It is a place.
Larkin, are you imagining a place in particular?
Yeah, I'm imagining this this upside down pyramid made of glass and hard light. I think that this is the institute where Larkin was taught sort of his artistic skills.
Interesting. You're inside this pyramid?
Yeah.
All right. You look around, you see a bunch of lecture halls, you see a couple of... There's no people here. It's all empty because it's a fake space. It's not actually where you learned your craft. But you see a bunch of lecture, like everything that's supposed to be here is here. It's almost as if all the people were just like zapped out of existence.
Nice.
There's like backpacks everywhere and some notebooks that are open, pencils.
I used to love
doors are
this
open.
place.
Talk about liminal spaces.
Come on,
If
I'll
we
show.
jump in... Darius, are we going?
Yeah.
Darius left.
Yeah, Darius went.
What? No,
I was waiting.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
we didn't go. Only Larkin went. Bye.
Yeah, let's go. I think this will be fun. Like, what's the worst that could happen? We've gotten out, and he like waves his pencil around, drops it on the ground, and picks it back up. And...
You pick it back up and it's bigger.
Ooh.
Total disambiguation?
This is nifty. Let's go. And he clips the bigger one onto his belt. And...
All right, as you jump in, Solaris is gonna like cling to you like a koala.
You guys wanted to go where Larkin is?
Yes.
Okay. You jump in. I think that the other characters also follow in with you. Adana, are you going too?
Now I could split the party.
Do it.
You could hang out with Cyrus.
I could hang out with Cyrus. Make you do a Cyrus impression.
He's been practicing. Do it.
Okay, I'll hang out with Cyrus. I think I like. Yeah, no, I think I like jump in thinking like, okay, wherever Mr. Cyrus is, I think he's supposed to be here tonight. Go
All right.
there.
So you pop into a full kitchen, a full like industrial sized kitchen, and Cyrus is in there like just playing with the tools and trying to turn on the heaters. There's like trying to make an egg, basically. He's just cooking up some food.
Mr. Cyrus, would you like some help?
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, I just got a little hungry, and so I decided I wanted to go here. And they got a real stocked fridge.
Bravo,
Okay.
Alex. Damn.
Incredible, truly incredible. Wow, really good. Somebody clip that so we can just text him. Do you want help?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what do you normally have for breakfast? I'm pretty hungry.
Okay. And I like start going around and like gathering up all. I think Adana eats like a light breakfast, eggs, and so it's like gathering shit, and starts taking stock of like all the kitchen tools that are there, the different like you said it's an industrial kitchen, so I'm sure there's like a range of utensils and appliances and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Blow torches, knives, the lot.
Are you, the player, marking any of these pieces as evidence or as clues?
Yes.
Kitchen utensils. Interesting.
It makes sense.
As you mentioned to Cyrus that you normally have a pretty light breakfast, and so whenever you try to crack an egg open, it just sort of floats in the air.
That's cute. It's very cute.
Fuck you, Larkin. I hate this place.
This is my greatest creation. What are you talking about? And I think Larkin is on the top of the pyramid, like the widest part, where there's like a reflecting pool that Larkin is partially naked and wading into.
Oh my.
Love that for them.
I'm just like splashing water at everyone who's still on the on dry land. Come on in. The water's fine.
We're in the Vale, right?
I don't know.
I think, as Darius imagines, hopping into the pool, I'd like my outfit to change to be appropriate.
Absolutely. It changes.
Stellar.
You change into a nice skimpy Speedo with vertical black stripes.
Vertical black stripes. Okay. And then I'll wade right in. And I think as Darius approaches, it's going to be like, oh, this is incredible what you've done here. Like, look at the detail. How do you produce random spots like this with this kind of liveliness?
I know, right? It's so cool. Most of the work was done by my engineer. They are incredibly intelligent. I just came up with the idea.
The engineer is like, you didn't notice them being here, but they are standing next to the pool.
Come on, come join us.
Always lurking.
I don't like to swim.
Oh. Well, I do. And then Larkin just like dives underwater.
You dive underwater and it's deeper and deeper and deeper and you feel no need to breathe.
I love it. I just keep going.
I'm gonna take a little lap around the pool, and I don't really trust this place yet, so I'm gonna look up into the palm trees and see if there are any like coconuts there that are ready to fall and kill someone.
Are you marking that down as a as a
yes.
clue? All right. Dangerous coconuts.
Dangerous coconuts.
Dangerous nuts.
Danger nuts.
Yeah, you definitely see some pretty hefty looking coconuts.
I don't like the shape of those danger nuts. Not at all.
Do they look like icicles?
They can.
They're unsettlingly furry. Got my eye on you, nuts.
The coconut does one of these to you. Pulls out an arm out of nowhere.
Oh my gosh. Are the other two assistants with us? The friend and the bodyguard?
Yeah, they're here.
Okay, are either of them hot?
Yes. The bodyguard is an extremely muscular, very tall woman.
Okay.
She's just sort of standing there with her arms crossed, just like making sure no funny business is happening, looking around, keeping an eye on everything. The other one is just sort of like much slimmer build. He has sort of like pulled up his suit pants and is like dangling his feet in the water, just having a wonderful little time, just enjoying himself.
Okay. Then I'll go up to the guard then and ask. So you are hired to guard things?
Yes, I'm hired to guard a very important art.
Great, because this dress is one of a kind, and I will take it off and lay it nicely down next to them. Please guard this. Thank you so much.
She grabs your hands and just stares deeply into your eyes and says, I will guard this with my life. I will kill for this dress.
Can I just say in this moment, happy pansexuality day, guilty.
I heard you also guard bodies.
Yes, I guard many bodies.
How many of them are dead?
I too have been entrusted with many bodies. We should swap stories sometime.
Yes, when I am off the clock, we shall drink until the night is over, and then many, many moons have passed.
And speak of many bodies.
We will speak of so many bodies.
Perfect. I will dive in.
Okay. You also feel the same experience that Larkin did. It's incredibly deep. It just keeps going and going until you don't want it to anymore, and you don't have the need to breathe. Swimming is much more effortless inside this pool.
Wild.
Darius, what are you doing?
I am mulling. You know what? Let's go for it. I think Darius is like the engineer's near the shore, right?
Yes.
I think Darius is going to swim over and like lay out a little bit casually in the water near and invite the engineer to come hang out.
They stand as close to the pool as they can without getting in.
Well, what's the matter? Don't want to get wet?
No, I don't like to get wet.
Oh, it's really not so bad if you find the right person to do it with.
What do you mean? Why do you need people to do anything?
Oh, it's an experience to hang out with someone.
All I need to hang out with is my work, and I'm here.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I love my work as much as the next person, but you gotta enjoy a little bit of relaxation in order to find the inspiration for the next. Darn, I was on a riff. Ideation?
What is relaxation?
I think Darius is gonna like snap, and I would like to change their clothing to be similar.
John, you can't change someone's clothes without their permission.
He can and he
I
will.
would also like to put their clothes gently next to them in a nice folded pile.
Okay.
If that's acceptable.
Well, really quick, the rules of the Veil say that you can't change other people without their consent.
Oh, that's right.
History.
Would you like me to show you?
Are we relaxation?
Yes, I'll show you relaxation.
Fine.
You need to just trust me. Take my hand.
They give you the limpest grab of your hand.
And I think as they give me their hand, they change into matching attire. But you know what? We'll be a little bit more modest. Not a skimpy Speedo. It's like a.
They're wearing like a one-piece, old-timey swimsuit from like the 20s. Yeah.
Yeah. And I invite them to like I carve out a space in like the ground, and I make a little like seating area for us. And
So you're still like wading in the pool, right?
yeah, we're just like in the shallow end, just chilling with our feet in the water.
I think that they want to get on like a giant like duck float.
Ooh, I love it. I would like to note the duck float as a murder weapon.
Okay. Duck floaty. All right. Why don't we check over in on Larkin? You're swimming pretty deep into this water. Are you trying to get somewhere?
I'm not necessarily thinking of anything in particular, but the whole question about, or the whole discussion about the 20th century has me thinking about like certain stories, and I think maybe one of them kind of like pulls me deeper than the others. And so I think that as I'm swimming deeper, I encounter a water surface. And as I rise up out of that water surface, I think I find myself in sort of like a dark wood with a cat who's only partially visible.
Ooh.
And oh wait, why are they over in that tree as well? Why are they missing an eye? And oh wait, the eye is over there now? What's happening?
Ah, very mysterious cat. What are you gonna do with this cat?
I think the cat says, "Leave now or die." And I leave. And I'd like to register this cat as a murder weapon.
Okay. Mysterious cat. Mysterious Cheshire-like cat has been registered. Ooh, boy. We already have a whole third of our murder weapons. Actually, we have all the murder weapons locked in. Now we just need a couple more clues.
Do we
Adana,
need
how's your
suspects
breakfast?
as well, or no?
What?
Do we need suspects or
No, you're all the suspects.
Okay, just
I'm only for the viewers. I have a roll 20 that I'm keeping track of the clues. We're just doing clues. Now the next pieces of clues that we need are just things at the scene or things that are on the body. Which actually no, we're doing on the body later. Things at the scene would be next. Adana, you and Cyrus have made your lovely breakfast. Yours keeps floating, but it's edible.
It's like just this weird thing of her constantly like, and okay. Trying to like catch everything. And I think she manages to scarf it all down. Does it make her float?
Does she think it would?
I think she's afraid it would.
Then yes, she does start to levitate a little bit.
Okay. This is fine. I can work with this levitation. So I just kind of like hover around the room. I think I should sorry. I think I should maybe try to find the rest of the group. I don't know. They went down this hole and I don't know where they went.
Oh yeah, they went down the cookie hole
How do you know that?
because I was there.
Okay.
We can find us a cookie and jump into a hole if you want. Not sure they'll be that big though. Might be a little tough to squeeze into.
Yeah, there's no big cookies around here. I think I'll just go through the door.
Okay, yeah. Where are we going?
I will go into the next most important room to see.
Okay, I'm taking this as you're giving me free range here.
Yeah, I am.
You
Ball's in your court.
you enter through the closest door you can find is the freezer. So
Okay, interesting.
You open up the freezer door and it's very dark. So you let the door shut behind you, and you are walking your way through the freezer. It feels like it's a little longer, but then you end up. All of a sudden, it's very bright. Like it's as if you just crossed a threshold out of the freezer and into what appears to be an abandoned church. It is the pews are like destroyed. The ceiling is half gone, but as some light peers through the broken ceiling, there's a small garden at the very in front of the altar.
Okay.
With various wildflowers and such.
Okay, I'm gonna go investigate the small garden.
Okay.
See if there's anything interesting.
I mean, there's anything you can think of. There's flowers, there's mushrooms, there's a couple of very strong vines. Is there anything you're looking for in particular in the garden?
Has the garden like been disturbed? Like has somebody taken stuff from the garden? Oh wait, no,
Yes.
because we're doing are we doing things on the body next, right? I don't know.
We're gonna do things on the body when we find the body.
Fair enough, fair enough. Okay.
So we're just doing at the scene, and the scene is literally everywhere.
Fine then, yeah. Like, as it looked like this garden is missing or has been disturbed. I think that's still a valuable question.
I mean, yeah, a couple of flowers have been picked. It looks like some mushrooms are missing their caps.
Okay. Okay. Sorry.
Somebody may have started to try to dig. Like, it looks like some ground has been tilled to be planted, but either the seeds haven't grown yet or there's nothing in there.
I start digging through that, trying to see if there is something hidden or if it's another hole that goes somewhere.
Okay. You start digging and you start to find some water, almost as if you found a spring. And from that water, you see something like murky. It's like almost like seaweed. And you start to pull at it. It's really heavy. And you keep pulling, and up comes Solaris's head.
I full-heartedly scream. I scream and I fall back. I like fall on my ass.
I scream back, but my mouth is like full of water, so it's just like.
You just spit all over me. Miss Solaris.
Donna,
Wow.
where are? I was swimming down, and then I felt like a crab was eating me, and then Whoa! What did you do to this garden?
I didn't. I found it like this. I think
Yes,
it's
exactly. That is always the story you tell them.
You know that I'm not an artist, right?
Everyone's an artist.
That's deep. It's beautiful. No, I found this. Mr. Cyrus and I just had a light breakfast, and she like starts floating again and then rolls herself down. And now we are in this church. It was in the
Wait.
freezer.
Oh, he's here?
Cyrus is just like chilling on one of the non-broken pews. Ew.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Then I'll go walking through the pews, and on my way over to Cyrus, I'll pick up a what looks like a scroll of the Eightfold Step, the path, what's the general name?
Oh, the general name is the Effervescent Path.
The Effervescent Path. Yes. A scroll, and it's got like blood stains on it.
Ooh. That's the thing you found at the scene?
It is indeed.
All right.
Nice.
Bloodstained scroll.
I pick it up though, and I look at it, and my eyes flick to Mr. Cyrus, and I slowly put it back down.
Cyrus, he looks back at you and he just sort of like, He just seems like strangely like chill today for some reason. And
He's
so,
always a chill guy.
yeah, but like, you know, he's not in his like, you know, pressing the big red button kind of mode.
Yeah, there. That's it for this.
Adana, this place kind of gives me the creeps. Do you want to get out of here?
I mean, we can. I thought it was very pretty and peaceful, but
Oh, well, I'll just wait for you to be done then. I'll sit down with you.
oh, we can. Let's see.
Would you like to cut to someone else for a bit?
I'm like trying to. You know what? No, I know what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
I think as like Adonis thinking about like, oh, we should go somewhere else. We see footsteps that are caked in like from the mud of the garden
Mm-hmm.
that are walking towards one of those very long, stretching hallways.
Ooh, how fun! Sort of like an open, like abandoned archway of a door.
But I mean, with doors here, who knows where they fucking go?
Very true.
So, footsteps to where? Question mark.
Muddy
question.
footsteps.
So Adana, Solaris, and Cyrus walk through this mysterious doorway. But first, let's cut back to Darius and his new friend? Question mark.
I mean, I get the sense that we're not going to hit it off. just a sense.
Is the baby bangs?
I don't know.
Oh no!
So I think Darius is going to swim out into the water and try to swim to the other side if he can.
Like just the other side of the pool?
Yeah. Hop
Okay.
out and head down.
Wait, head down? Like, are you swimming down or are you swimming like across?
I am swimming across and then getting out and then heading to a new place.
Okay. So are you? I think that the guy who was sitting at the pool comes and joins you, and the engineer. These guys do have names, by the way.
Tell us.
We're never gonna ask them. We're never gonna know.
Okay.
I want to know. I feel like Larkin should know of all of us.
Yeah,
I mean,
Larkin would
it is
know.
like your best friend.
Exactly.
He's there.
The friend's name is Frederick. The engineer's name is Snow, and the bodyguard's name is Katina.
Got it.
So Frederick hops off and tags along with you, Darius, and Snow seems to just sort of like disappear as you look back. So as you head downstairs from the pyramid, are you looking to head somewhere else?
Can I note Snow at the scene?
Or
Or do we have to wait until scene is...
Yeah, is that you're going to be your at the scene clue? Is Snow?
I don't... Yes.
Okay. All right. So where are you headed next? Or would you like for me to give you a place?
I want to see what wonderful concoctions you've made for us.
Okay. So you head downstairs with Frederick, and you both enter into a door that seems to be below the pool area. I mean, everything below the pool area, given what we know with Larkin having swum perhaps miles underwater. You enter a room, and it feels very humid in here. The door slams behind you, and you are in a sinking submarine. Water just flowing in everywhere. Although the more water flows in, it doesn't exactly seem to fill, but you still get this immense panicky feeling. And it feels familiar, but somehow very, very new.
Frederick, what do you make of this?
Oh, this is dreadful. Oh, good lord. Like, it's so tacky in here. The rust, the metal, where's the pizzazz?
I mean, they did get the detailing very well, and I think Darius is going to go over to one of the holes and like start to fidget with it.
Oh, I suppose there's a bit of pizzazz in here with the details. But I mean, like, couldn't this at least be a little bit sunnier? And then all of a sudden, it's very bright in there.
No.
Ah, well, that's perfect.
Where is that coming from?
I don't know. Over there, I guess.
Okay. I think Darius is going to hop down into the standing water.
Okay.
Let's go look around.
You hop into the standing water and you see a stairwell that heads further down into the submarine.
Let's take it.
Okay. And as you do that, Larkin, where are you again?
I think that Larkin is. I think that Larkin is wearing like the black suit that you saw him in before. His swimming trunks have disappeared. The suit is unmarked, but his hair is wet, and his bare feet are also wet, and they're leaving muddy footprints behind him. And I think that Larkin is in a forest clearing, and overhead is the full moon.
Ooh, how fun. The full moon shines brightly upon you. This clearing, you know this space to be finite, but it feels infinite. It's almost as if, like, as long as you want to continue walking in this forest, it will continue to make more forest for you.
Nice. Do I see Darius and Frederick walk in from somewhere?
Would you like to?
Sure.
Yeah, Darius and Frederick, they just seem to appear from behind a tree. But as you walk up to them and, so you say, hey, and you look at the tree, there's nothing but like a knothole.
Nice. And I say to both of them, it's wonderful, isn't it? And I put 2 flower crowns on their heads. I want them to be like lilacs or something.
How lovely.
Yeah, and then I put one on my head as well. I'd like to register these flower crowns as a clue.
At the scene?
Yeah.
Ooh. How fun. And Frederick's gonna go, oh, now isn't this just like cottagecore? It's amazing. I could just imagine coming up here for the weekend.
I know, it's so lovely, so vintage.
I don't know. I think we could use with some more like ornate hard light decorations. Don't you think it's just a little bit like the real?
Well, think of what hard light such things you want and it'll appear.
One of the trees is immediately like, and you know how everything in the real is like very like unnatural and like chaotic looking. One of the trees just turns into like a square column made of hard light.
There you go, Mr. Darius.
Well, it's something. Otherwise, lovely. How have your adventures been, Larkin? Found anything fun?
A very territorial cat, but other than that, it's been quite interesting. And can I say that a few more trees turn into just hard light columns?
Yeah, sure.
And we just like we don't like mention them or whatever, but it just starts to spread throughout the forest. You two look a bit wet. What have you been up to?
We were exploring the remains of a sub.
Oh, I didn't realize you were both into subs.
Yeah, it's a new hobby of mine. I've been studying the early 20th century subculture, and it's fascinating. It really is.
What? Remind me again. Subculture, was that a water sport?
The archaeologists don't agree. Some see references to subculture with large architectural diagrams, and others have found references only in what we believe to be fiction.
But you know what I've heard of the subculture is it is mostly practiced by seamen.
I have heard this as well, yes. Just loads of seamen are so into subculture.
Shout out to Tim, who's going to be watching this next week. Hello. Thinking of you.
This is exactly when Tim pulls out his headphones and walks away.
I think that as this conversation continues, we pan to Adana, Cyrus, and Solaris, who just walked through that hallway. Was there a particular place you wanted to go?
Adana, are you sure we should be following these footsteps?
It just is a little strange, don't you think?
Yeah, which is why I wouldn't follow them.
You're not curious?
There's curious, and then, well,
I guess you trust Larkin more than I do, but I don't know what's lurking in the edges of his brain.
Well, there's nothing lurking in Larkin's brain. Just creativity.
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Nothing lurking and larking.
Solaris pulls a bottle of wine from her purse, which it seems like she took off of, the gallery
When you-
bar before.
I was
they
gonna say
got
when
in.
like the open bar for the gallery.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. She just like had stuck that in. It's like, all right. She'll offer the rest of the bottle to Cyrus.
Oh, thank you. And Cyrus does a huge. He chugs the rest of the bottle and smashes it, and he's like, "All right, I'm ready to fight something if we need it."
It's like he's
I
here.
know.
I had to leave my axe
Mr.
at the door.
Oh, Mr. Cyrus, you're so resourceful.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thought we left the shrimp outside.
Oh,
Wow. Wow.
you gonna start shrimping?
Shrimping.
No,
This-
not
so-
tonight.
So Adana, where are you going? Or just wherever?
I don't know why I need like 3 business days to answer these questions.
Mhm.
I'm so sorry.
There's so many possibilities.
I know, right? We should just go to a pasta kitchen. I'm hungry, y'all. That's actually the secret. Me, Liv, the player. I'm
You're
very
hungry?
I had light breakfast.
Would you like to go somewhere that could serve food?
Yes. Ooh, take me to a diner.
Okay. You enter
True
in-
vintage throwback.
You enter into a small seaside diner. You see a group of people very vehemently discussing something in the corner. You don't think you want to get into it that much. But then you also see the entirety of the diner is run by... There's one human waitress, but then there's a bunch of mice running around doing the rest of the work.
Oh.
It's one of the
I
humans
go
in
up-
the corner has pink hair.
Okay, wow. Sorry. I just the lore. I go up to one of the mice and say hello. Cuz I think this is fascinating.
The mice squeaks at you and pushes a menu up towards you.
Oh, wait, thank you. Ew,
Uh,
wait, I really am a full Disney princess. I'm talking to animals.
Yes! Oh my gosh, she's reached her final stage.
Wow, it's only taking this long. Oh, wait, thank you. I take the menu. What do you recommend?
And then eventually just points at one thing that just
trust
says
you.
it just says cheese.
I trust you complicitly.
And it goes and runs off and comes back with a full cheese platter.
Miss Solaris, you have your wine. Come.
Yeah, you have another bottle of wine in your purse from seemingly nowhere.
Beautiful. All right, yeah, I'll scoot into the booth and start picking at the cheese platter.
I turn to the mouse. The sparkling water. Thank you.
It runs back and brings you a glass of water and a straw, and it just blows bubbles into the straw.
I love this so much.
Oh my god. I let the mouse do it for like a little bit of time, and I'm like, okay. And I reach into my pockets and I imagine what would make this mouse so happy to have, and I pull that out and give it to them as a tip.
Pull out a cigarette.
It's a whole cigarette.
Yes.
I also reach back in for a lighter.
Oh my lord.
It drags him away with extreme mouse force.
Oh, I thought it was like.
No,
Wait,
no.
I thought this was
it's-
a big mouse.
Despite it very easily bringing a cheese platter to you earlier.
Okay. Is this a mouse or is this like a person cartoon mouse?
It's a mouse.
I love this so much.
So many things to think about.
This is so
So many
fun.
realizations. Okay. Cool.
I'm gonna elbow Cyrus and be like, I will give you 3 pieces of cheese if you drink that water.
Oh yeah, easy. And he chugs the water immediately. And as he places it back down, it's filled back up for Adana.
Disgusting.
My cheese.
Disgusting.
I'm gonna enjoy my cheese outside. I'll be right back. And Cyrus goes and leaves outside the diner door. Liv, is there anything at this scene that speaks to you? You can say no.
Yeah, no. I'm like trying to think of something, but no.
Okay. You guys enjoy your lovely plate of cheese. We will cut back to the forest area as the innuendos continue.
Would
You
you
know-
say the innuendo?
Wait, actually.
Hmm?
Well, never mind. I was gonna say, can the group of people gossiping in a corner be something I found, but not really. Because they were talking. They were talking about things that apparently were just like too much for us to handle. So I thought that it was going to become the other part of the group, but apparently not. Or maybe I'll investigate that on my next turn.
I mean, they could be something. Did you want to like walk up to them and ask them what they're talking about?
I will
My lord, Misty.
on the. I know she's so cute. I like keep like watching her and getting serotonin. I will on my next turn, but for now, I'm gonna investigate if anything's stuck in between these stack of menus, and we'll cut to the next group.
We'll find out what's between these menus when we come back.
So I've heard that in addition to subculture, there was a dominion group that was forming regionally in various parts of the world. They called them the Dom culture.
That
Isn't
makes
that just
sense.
fascinating? Did they clash with the subculture?
The evidence suggests that they worked quite well together. In fact, sometimes even help each other completing projects of some kinds. It just says they helped them finish work.
Really? I'm sure it must have been some sort of submariner sort of project.
Truly, I was born in the wrong generation.
Indeed. Speaking of, gents, would you want to get something to eat? I think I see a cafe on that hill over there.
Sounds lovely.
Are you heading to the Mouse Cafe
Yeah, and
or
I think
somewhere else?
Can we say that as we go, like the trees around us start turning into hard light columns as well?
Yeah, sure. And so you folks enter the diner through the diner you referred to, of course, was also a knot in a tree, but it as you approached it, it expanded into a full-length sort of archway for you to enter into.
Nice. Adana, Solaris, good to see you. How are you enjoying my greatest work?
It has good cheese.
Indeed.
And okay water.
I wouldn't say I understand it, but I suppose that's not always the point of art.
Exactly. I think you do understand it.
I do feel provoked.
Good. Excellent. That is art.
And you guys, Adana, you notice betwixt these menus, you find a sheet of paper that appears to be some like blueprints, perhaps. Can't quite make heads or tails of it, but it's almost like a map, almost like blueprints, but it's like a piece of paper with 3D depth to it that you can sort of like bring up and down the different layers. Perhaps if you studied it a bit more, it could be more of use to you.
Okay. Happy resub day, Chav.
Thank you, Chav.
Yay! Thank you for this.
Resub, welcome back, baby. I'm going to slip that into the pocket of my dress, because Adana,
Okay.
of course, is the girl who wears a dress with pockets.
I mean, it's the future, of course.
It's the future. Every dress should have pockets. Thank you for
They
coming
do.
to my very short TED talk.
My tea talk.
My tea talk. Well, I mean, it is Larkin's.
Mm.
Yeah. There's just a room where somebody's serving tea and just talking endlessly about things.
And there's a stage. Almost
Yes.
everything is black.
Yes.
Naturally.
Yeah. And everybody has tea.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Adana is gonna slip this blueprint into her pocket, try to make sure nobody notices. And then she's gonna wander over to this table to try to see what's going on. Like, they're all talking art. It sounds like she doesn't get art. She likes art, she doesn't get it. So she's gonna kind of wander around, look at the diner. Sometimes diners have these things called juke boxes, and that's very exciting, and I want to see if this place has one. I'm also gonna go walk over and see if I can listen to this group.
Sure. You walk over to the group, which is unusual because the university area had no people. So why does this area have people? And you walk over to them, and it turns out that they're not actually people. They all are just sort of muttering to themselves about they're talking about the creation and how they need to form things up. You even walk up and sit next to them, and they do not mind you anything. But you notice one strange thing about them is they all have differently colored eyes.
Okay. Fucking weird. Gonna note that down.
Is that going to be your at the scene evidence?
I think I have two, but yes.
Which one?
Because isn't the blueprint one, or is the blueprint
could be.
just little bitty?
Whatever you want.
No, it's these fucking weird fucking automatons.
Hey. With that, we have all of our evidence for this part. How fun. And I think with that in mind, you all hear a blood-curdling scream from far off in the distance.
What?
Sounds like a man. You all leave the diner, hoping to find the origin of the scream, and you end up in the original hallway where we all started. And on the floor, in the middle of the hallway, you see Cyrus Zacho, dead, not breathing, heart rate 0, 100% dead.
Donna screams. She screams. She's crying. She's fucking distraught.
And Martha bursts through the door. She goes, "What happened? I heard somebody scream. I think it was Cyrus." Oh no. Who could have done this?
Martha, Miss Martha, he's
I run up to his side and try to I pull some sort of hallucinogenic from my bag and try to put it in his mouth and close it and make him swallow. I pour some wine in.
Nothing.
What are you
He's
doing?
gone.
What are you doing?
All
No, like
This
what are you?
always works.
It's always
No, like what are you actually fucking doing?
I'm
Larkin
just giving
starts.
him some ecstasy. It'll kickstart him.
Larkin starts taking selfies with the body.
Oh my god, you psychopath.
He probably deserved it. I don't know
What?
why, but
No, this is just part
Adana's
of the.
sobbing. Adana's fucking
No,
crying
no, no.
even
This is just
harder.
this is just part of the art. This isn't real. This is just.
This is
Isn't
Mr.
it?
Cyrus.
Martha walks up and she goes, Larkin, I know death when I see it. And this man is gone.
What? I thought he was a sculpture. Oh.
So that leaves, and she points at all of you guys and the three other NPCs.
Snow, Frederick, Bettina.
That leaves all of you as the suspects. Martha pulls out a detective hat out of nowhere. And I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. And that is where we'll have our first break.
I love it. Nice setup, y'all. All right, we'll be right back. Welcome back. Hello, hello.
Welcome back, everyone, to Murder! Our party has just stumbled upon the body of their dear friend / associate, Cyrus. Cyrus Zacho. That's his full name right there. Martha has come into the scene to investigate the body, and you know what? Her friends are nosy. They're going to investigate the body, too. So, we take a look at the body, and what do we see, gang? Is there anything strange on this body?
Yeah, so Solaris is hunched over Cyrus, trying to like force some veil X down his throat with her second bottle of wine. And even though like it's not going, his like, you know, his swallowing isn't working. She gets a good look at his face, and she can see that like the usual 4 like glowing implants on his forehead that are usually blue are lit up bright red.
Interesting.
As if something malfunctioned with his cybernetics.
What about the rest of you guys? What do you see?
So I think as I'm taking selfies with his body, I glance down and as I'm like Martha shames me for doing so. I glance down and I see that in his hand, Cyrus is clutching. What kind of? I think it's like it's a huge maple leaf.
Interesting.
And it is it's like halfway between red and yellow.
Well, if I can cut in,
If you may.
Miss Adana's very upset and crying and very just distraught, but she knows Cyrus very, very well. And so she checks his, like, sort of secret pocket in his belt to see if there's anything useful, anything that might help her. And all she finds is a bloody kitchen knife.
Oh, interesting. There's one on the body, too.
Yes. Don't know whose blood, but it's a bloody kitchen knife.
Darius, what do you find on the body?
I think Darius, after, you know, like making many snide comments, comes and rolls Cyrus onto his stomach and notices a spatula has been wedged into his shoulder blades.
Into
Wow.
his? Wow, okay.
Into his shoulder blades.
A spatula.
You
It's
noticed
not-
that? You noticed that when you pushed him on his stomach, that it was in his shoulder blades?
Yeah, it's like it's sticking up above to his head, as if he were trying to flip his body, using
At
it
an
that went into
intense
his body.
angle.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So, now that we have all of the clues, the detective's gonna do her work. Martha's gonna go around and start asking a couple questions. Now, who would have the most motive for this murder, perhaps? Any
Darius.
ideas?
It's Darius.
Absolutely, Darius.
I don't know why y'all think that just because he destroyed my life and, tried to get me killed, I would have the most reason to murder him.
I'm sorry.
Miss Detective Martha?
Mm-hmm.
And, like, Donna motions you over.
What is dear?
I know that everybody would think that Mr. Darius would do it, but honestly, I think it was Miss Solaris. She's never liked Mr. Cyrus. Whoa, all their names are very similar. She's never liked Mr. Cyrus, and we all know how close she is to Mr. Darius. I think she was just looking for another reason to get rid of him. And the fact that Mr. Cyrus destroyed Darius's life was the reason she was looking for all along.
What an interesting theory, Miss Adana. However, I would like to point out, very often, the person who is most likely to murder someone is the one they're closest to.
Larkin points at Adana.
You mean me?
Sweetie, it could be any of you. We have to go over all the possibilities. Now, let's take a look at some of these things that we have on the body. A kitchen knife and a spatula. Have any of you recently been to a kitchen?
Miss
No.
Martha, look at me. I'm never in the kitchen except to get a bottle.
That's true. You don't even have a kitchen in your home.
It's true.
Adana starts to float. Guiltily.
Now that's strange.
I had a light breakfast.
Nice.
That's funny. Now then, very interesting. And Larkin, do you know where perhaps one might find a big maple leaf, such as this one?
Oh, well, I suppose in through door 56, door 91, door 132. I believe there might be a maple place in probably in that cafe that we were in, that diner.
Excuse me, Mr. Locken. I believe that you said that all the rooms are randomly generated. How would you know where that content might have been?
Well, just look. And I open number 56, and it's just empty. Oh. Well, I suppose you're right. I guess it's only the maple things are only there when I want them to be.
Very interesting, Mr. Larkin. And aside from a motive, perhaps, could this have been an accident? Someone was trying to cover something up? Perhaps? I don't know. Who's to say? Now, as for who the murderer could be, I do have an idea. And then
Really?
I do. Martha raises her hand
Oh.
and points. Adana, I think you did it!
Mm,
And you're about to tell me how.
mhm.
You know, it's just really sad when you see somebody that you admire all along go down such a wrong path. I know that Mr. Cyrus has always cared about, the church and the way that things are supposed to be done, but lately it just seems like he's been taking the word and guidance and education that we've both valued and twisting it into these terrible, terrible things and doing terrible, terrible things and the word of being right, and I don't know, I just felt like somebody had to stop him. So this morning, while we were making breakfast, I went ahead and... Oh, wait, where are some of these things? Wah. Wah, 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 wah.
We
No, I know what it is.
One thing from each column.
One thing from each
One
column,
thing
yeah.
from
It doesn't have to be
yeah.
yours, though.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Good, because I don't remember what's mine.
right. Yes, okay. So when I was preparing our breakfast and everything, and all the breakfast materials were like floating through the air, there was this weird cat that kind of like appeared in between the ingredients, floating, like it was almost chopped up, almost like the peppers I was making for our omelets. And the cat told me that it had these plants, these almost like lilac flowers, that if I just seasoned Mr. Cyrus's omelet with it, it would take care of things. And I don't know. I guess maybe it messed with his like system and his implants. I don't know exactly how cybernetic implants work, but I guess maybe if you cross wires, things get messed up.
I see. Is that your whole story?
I didn't know what was happening, but I guess I maybe might have poisoned Mr. Cyrus.
An interesting story there, Miss Adana. However, I know from a reliable source, Snow over here explained some of these implants to me. The glowing red implants do not indicate death, but just a deep sleep. Cyrus was not killed from these plants.
Oh.
However, somebody else here is actually guilty. Adana, did you see anybody who you suspect?
Well, Miss Solaris did come bursting out of nowhere and did spend some time alone with Mr. Cyrus and I. And she fed him like the cheese and made him drink the water for no reason.
Miss Solaris, care to explain how you killed Cyrus?
Gladly. You're right, Adana. It was me. I knew that Mr. Cyrus, as you so call him, was only going to get us into deeper and deeper shit the longer he persisted with our group. So I did what had to be done. I took that duck floaty and I brought it all the way into the garden with us. Thankfully, it was filled with a poisonous gas. I know this because Snow, the engineer, created it that way. They were trying to get back at Darius for putting them in such a unfortunately ugly swimsuit. But I stole it away from them, and I brought it into that creepy church garden. And I did what had to be done. Unfortunately, the gas itself didn't kill Cyrus, and so I had to steal a spatula from the kitchen. And when you weren't looking, Adana, when he went outside to take his little smoke break with that mouse waiter, I stabbed him in the back with the spatula and cooked him like an egg.
Is that so, Miss Solaris?
Donna burst
It
into
is.
tears again.
And I'm not sorry.
There is but one problem with your story. And that is, well, quite frankly, if the gas wasn't poisonous and the spatula stabbed him in the back, there's the fatal blow.
Well, I mean, the gas was slow acting. I thought I.
Let's take a trip to this diner of yours. Martha opens up a door and we are outside the diner. Let's take a look here. A trail. Cyrus was clearly continued to move after he was stabbed. Otherwise, how would he have made his way into the hallway? I don't believe that you were the one who killed Cyrus. Do you have a theory?
But I tried so hard. Who else would have been able to do it?
Who indeed, Miss Solaris?
Who, except for the person who created this place? Larkin, did you steal my murder?
My dear, it's nothing personal. And I think that Larkin flinches, and when he pulls away his hand, there's like blood on it, and he says, "The bastard got me back in return. Used that bloody kitchen knife of his, but I got him in the end. I did create this place, so it was easy enough for me to think of, I don't know, fun little devices that could have ended him. A torture chamber, perhaps a meteor striking this entire plane. But no, I decided for the more direct route. Coconuts. They fell in the trillions onto his poor, broken body. You know why? Do you know why I did this, Solaris? It's because he wiped his bloody hands all over the plans that I had for my most beautiful, beautiful creation. He deserved it. All right, now give me that ecstasy and wine. I need to heal this cut up.
One moment before you have that E and ween. Larkin, do you really think that some merely spiky coconuts could kill such a trained assassin as Cyrus Zacho?
What?
Harry.
There were trillions of them.
Trillions, sure, but isn't it so easy to find a new space to go into?
I never imagined he'd become so deft in such a short time.
Perhaps it was someone else. After all, these blood-stained plans, where even were they?
Where were they indeed, and how did he get them? Perhaps he got them from someone who was more interested in the plans himself. Maybe it was Darius who killed Cyrus.
Darius, care to explain?
He would never.
As a matter of fact, I did. I must tell you. Cyrus, I have so many reasons that he just shouldn't exist. But the motivation for my murder is not what you might expect. He destroyed my life, true, but I thought it only fair to return in kind. I intended to destroy him and take his place in the Armistice Corps. I started when I found these machines lying around this space. I was able to refurbish them and change them so that they would operate on my will. I instructed them to go and gather random kitchen utensils, forks, knives, spoons, and let's not forget the mighty spork, and have them bring all of these components together and drag Cyrus through the various ecosystems in this space, picking up only little tiny tidbits to obfuscate the origin of his body. Such as this maple leaf.
But Darius, why? Why would you want to leave us and join the
Oh, I had no intentions to leave.
Corps? They're a bunch of hippies.
Hippies. They murder people.
Murder
What?
hippies.
They're murder hippies?
Yes, very, very murder hippies. You remember, he murdered the person I was with for
But
them.
their website says I thought that was just a Cyrus thing.
Oh no, they're all murderers. Assassins, if you will.
Or
But I was-
Cyrus is an assassin?
I was tired of being on the out. I wanted in on the real gain in status. And the Armistice Corps was my ticket. And Cyrus was in my way.
How interesting. Everyone had something to gain from the death of poor Cyrus. However,
Come on, Martha.
Hmm?
You think that we're better off with Cyrus around?
Well, I think we know how I feel about these premature deaths.
Jealous?
Maybe sometimes. But we're not quite there yet. I don't think we have this full story. You three! And she points at Katina and Snow and Frederick. That's his name. Larkin, what is your relationship to these three people?
They are my closest confidants. Patina is my engineer who helped me create this wondrous space. Snow is the bodyguard that I hired to make sure that it is safe from harm. And, of course, Frederick. Frederick and I have something a little bit more personal.
How interesting. I think that at this point, the scenery, it sort of like glitches out for a second. And I go, no, wait, that isn't right. Wasn't Snow the engineer? Snow, are you the engineer? And Snow goes, what? No, I'm the bodyguard. What are you talking about? Obviously, Katina's the engineer. She's
Wait,
a soft-spoken Russian.
Who's guarding my dress?
Your dress? Why, I have it right here! And Frederick waves it up in the air. And like...
Oh no, something's not right here. I definitely do not want to boink that one.
And suddenly the hallway, it starts to shrink. It shrinks down into just one room with one door. And just none of this seems right. What is in fact going on? Just this one door? The exit's not even here anymore.
Darius, get us out of here. Click your button.
I touch all of my friends' hands as we set them in the middle and click my clicker, and it just
Does nothing.
it does nothing. It creates a really loud clicking noise, and then I assume it vanishes.
Patina,
What?
what? You engineered this space. What's going on?
I did nothing to make this. I have no idea. I think I must go. And Katina just exits through the door.
Wait,
Just
come
leaves?
back. And then I chase after her through the door.
Yeah,
Everybody
can we
else
go
chase?
after that door? Yeah.
Excellent. Everybody runs into the door. And inside you see a movie theater.
Nice.
Inside this movie theater, it's playing a black and white film. It appears to just be a train running along the screen. And you see Katina run up towards the towards the screen and jumps in.
What?
Should we? Are we supposed to go after her?
I don't think Darius breaks stride and just jumps into the screen.
Oh, what about
We all follow
Cyrus?
Darius.
The camera angle starts to shift as you all run up towards, with the train now heading towards the camera. And the train bursts out of the screen and starts coming at all of you guys, just ramming across through the movie theater. You're all barely you're like all standing up against the wall, but there are like rails there's something you can grab onto if you wanted to get onto the train.
I grab
Yes.
onto it.
Absolutely.
I also grab onto it.
Get me into this train.
Okay, you all grab onto the train and you are teleported to a suddenly black and white film. Hey, look at Guilty Go.
I was
Suddenly,
hoping so.
everything is in black and white, and you're just standing. You're all hanging for dear life onto this train. But you see Katina is standing on top of the train with Frederick and Snow somehow. They're all up there too. Even though weren't they with you?
I'm gonna break through one of the windows on this train.
Okay. You break through the window on the train and you are inside of the restaurant cart, I think is what it's called.
Nice. I sit down at a table with a cup of tea. And I just
You sit you sit down, chill at its table with your cup of tea. It's got a beautiful, despite it being in black and white, you can still tell that it's got this wonderful, glowing piece inside of it that almost looks like a knife. The tea is still delicious.
Sharp flavor.
Oh my god. So where are
The rest of you guys are just hanging on
Frederick
the
and
side of the train.
yeah, Frederick, Snow, and Patina are on top of the train.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna square up with them, and
Square up.
yeah, toss an arm out. How did you do this? What did you do? No one killed Cyrus but us.
What do you mean? We didn't do anything. It was all you. You said it yourself.
Hello?
You mean?
I did nothing.
Ah! I'll holler and charge at them and try and knock them off the top of this moving train.
You charge at them. You do end up knocking Katina off the top of the train, despite her being so strong and buff. You fall. The two of you fall onto the ground, and it shatters like glass as you two fall into what appears to be a huge garden of giant mushrooms. You're just bouncing on these giant mushrooms above this what appears to be a black void. Darius, Adana, what are you guys doing?
I think Darius has followed Solaris up onto the train top and is engaging in combat as well.
Whomst?
I don't know. Probably tackling Snow.
Okay, you also fall through the ground into this giant mushroom garden. Adana, you're just hanging for dear
God.
life on this train.
Yeah, watching everybody fall around me, trying to figure out what the fuck's going on.
I can hold my hand out for Adana and say, "There's some lovely tea inside."
The thing is that Adana does trust Larkin in general, even though this is like a different Larkin. But this is also a different Adana, so yeah, she takes his hand.
And I pour her some tea.
You guys enjoy a lovely spot of tea.
Nice.
The snack cart person wheels the snacks by, and this goes. Would you like a cookie, perhaps a biscuit?
Yes, please.
He hands you a cookie. It's an M&M cookie.
Oh, my favorite.
But as you try to reach it, it's just barely out of reach. It's barely out of reach. You
Oh.
can't reach it, and so you keep reaching and you keep reaching, but he seems further and further and further away, until eventually his arm just seems impossibly long. It's so long that he's able to like raise his arm up and just drop the cookie for you. But the cookie, as it gets closer and closer, it gets bigger and bigger. As if it's about to crush you, Larkin.
I push Adana away as I tumble backwards.
Like tumble backwards, like as to avoid the cookie.
Yeah, I pitch my chair back so that the cookie just crushes the table that was between us.
You have this huge cookie in front of you.
I say, what? Well, nice. I start eating it.
I guess this means I fall off the train.
Fall out the window.
Yeah. He pushed me back. No direction.
Sure, yeah, you fall out the window
I fall
onto the ground. You fall onto a tumbleweed that you get tangled up inside. It's this massive tumbleweed, and you just keep rolling and rolling and rolling inside this tumbleweed until you end up smashing into a bunch of bowling pins. You're in a bowling alley. And we cut to Darius, Snow, Solaris, and Katina, who are all scrapping while bouncing on top of these giant mushrooms.
Punch your face!
What was that? Can you say that again?
I'm just shouting at them.
Do you think you can beat me? You are a silly flesh puppet.
Wait, I'm so confused! Who are you?
Yes. Who am I? Who are any of us? And she
Hold on a
blinks.
second.
She
I'm
blinks and her eyes are different colored.
Okay, fuck this. I'm taking a bite out of one of the mushrooms.
Yeah, you try to grab the mushroom as it keeps bouncing you in the air, but you're able to get a single bite out of it. And you start to grow and grow and grow bigger, so much so that these mushrooms don't bounce you anymore. In fact, they're starting to sink under your weight.
Haha! Ha 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 ha!
But
I will try to scoop up Darius then.
Okay, you scoop up Darius, and the two of you sink to the bottom of this pit.
Oh shit.
And you guys are also in a bowling alley. You look at the bowling balls, and there's one Adana-shaped ball as you hold this tiny Darius.
Okay.
Hello.
Are you all right?
I'm a ball.
I
So no. I've been better, I suppose.
Oh, we lost a John.
Yep, he's restarting.
No.
If Keith lets me in, though, I'll fix the overlay.
Yes.
Quickly though, because I know.
I think.
Oh,
he's
actually, John's back.
Is he?
Yes,
Okay.
back.
Hello.
Oh, perfecto.
Yay!
Hey.
Sorry.
The besties switched.
Oh wait, yeah, I need to.
I'm gonna pull my wine out and pour some on the Adana bowling ball and see if that helps.
Yeah, she somehow absorbs the liquid like a sponge and reinflates. Adana, now covered in wine, is standing tall, while Darius is still hand-sized.
I told you that always works.
You know, part of me wonders if it might not just be easier to deal with him when he's this size.
What?
Okay, actually, John, not bad.
Yeah.
Wait, how did you get here?
Well, I was having tea with Mr. Larkin and he pushed me out of a window and then I got swept up into a tumbleweed and then that tumbleweed knocked over a bunch of bowling balls. But then like I got pushed through this like weird mechanism that like and then I was a ball.
I do not trust that Larkin guy.
He's okay.
Speaking of Larkin, are you just eating your cookie?
I want to take 2 slices of cookies up a spiral stair to get to the roof of this car and share one with Frederick.
Okay. You and Frederick are just chilling on top of this this moving train in black and white.
It's a
enjoying
beautiful
cookie.
sunset, isn't it? I'm just yelling
Oh,
over the
it's-
wind.
Oh, it's marvelous. I mean, we haven't had a date this wonderful since about 10,000 years ago.
So true. We're so old.
I mean, well, you might be at least.
You're right. 10,000 years is the new 20.
So true. Anyway, have you ever considered perhaps, I don't know, just taking a leap of faith?
Oh, where are we leaping to, Frederick?
Wherever you want to go. And Frederick does a swan dive off of the train.
And I think Larkin just whispers himself, I've heard that a place on Earth called Cabo is nice this time of year.
you splash into a lovely Adirondack chair sitting on the beach
Nice.
in Cabo. You look over to your right and see this handsome young tattooed man and his wonderful partner just having a wonderful little time. They're doing like
Nice.
tequila shots or something. I don't know. You don't really feel like bothering them.
I mean,
I
not
follow-
that young.
Wow. I follow suit though, and I also have some tequila shots with Frederick.
You have many tequila shots. So many, in fact, that the ocean starts to smell like tequila. You waddle up to the ocean, and it's fully dressed. You can just have some salt on the top, your tequila, and look, a lime floats up to you.
Oh,
What a wonderful little time.
I love this place so much. I'm so glad I created it.
Frederick starts to build a sand castle, and the sand castle is about as extravagant and gorgeous as an actual castle.
Oh, darling, I think you missed some of the flying buttresses. Here, let me help you.
Oh, well, thank you, dear. I mean, where would I be without you? Our little creator.
And I think that the all of the buttresses are like fractal. They don't really like land on anything. They just like turn into smaller buttresses.
And as you look further and further into the detail, you can see even more and more.
I love this place.
All right, gang. So I've got a plan on how we're going to get out of here. Adana, you said that when you turned into a ball, you rolled through a little system. Do you think you could bring us back there?
Well, I saw that the pins also went through the system, so maybe if you stand over there and let me knock you over, we might be able to go.
All right. It's worth a try. Darius, get in my pocket.
Okay. I think I'm gonna like start the long climb to the pocket.
It's like a Joey.
Mike.
And I flip myself over. All right, I'm ready.
I also love that we both could have wholeheartedly lifted him up, but no.
No. He just, I'm wearing thigh-high boots naturally, but Patina was guarding my dress. So I'm in like Spanx and, like a tank top. So once he gets to the top of the boots, I'm like, okay, he's done enough. And then I put him in the pocket.
Bless
All
you.
right, Adana,
Yes.
hit us with all you got.
So Solaris goes and stands at the end of the bowling lane, and Adana does what?
Adana uses rollout, and
Adana the hedgehog.
No, truly a cursed image, please. Please, no sonic sonas. And I roll and knock down Solaris and all the other pins.
Okay, so you knock down Solaris, and as you go back into the backside of the bowling lane, you fall into a little trench, I guess. I don't know the terms.
We bowl.
And Solaris as a pin is pulled into the trench as well. Darius falls out of her pocket. You guys start falling and falling into this trench. It's way too deep. And the three
Can I
of you
reach out and grab Adana as we're going?
yeah,
So
sure.
we don't lose her?
Oh.
Grab onto each other.
Don't let me
And you all end up inside. You fall flat onto a very soft surface. It's very soft. It's incredibly soft. And
Is this sand? No, it's like rim salt.
I don't
Delicious.
like-
Darius, taste this.
Can someone get me? I'm hanging by a thread here.
Darius is full sized again.
Oh.
Cool. I
You
don't
guys
like this.
stand up and you notice you're really high up, like 10 stories high, and you look out and you're on top of the sandcastle.
You just hear Larkin below. So many buttresses, yes.
Yes, honey. Give us orthogonal lines. Give us
More.
buttresses.
More buttresses, and these buttresses just start to like jut out violently.
Ah!
Alex, quickly, what's a buttress?
A buttress is obviously an outward ledge that you have on top of a castle, so that you can place,
I
your
will put the
goblins,
definition of a flying buttress.
your
Your
ogres,
butts?
your statues, etc.
Your
The more
butts?
buttresses there are, the more statues you can have on top of your castle.
Uh-huh.
Okay, the confidence that you had, I was like, did Homeboy Google before I
Uh-huh.
the confidence you were giving, incredible.
Here we go. I'm gonna
You guys-
put it in the Twitch. There we go. Those are flying buttresses.
Thank you so much, King.
What? I kind of don't want to know.
No, it's fine.
Oh,
It's fine.
They
What you
don't
think?
fly as much as I want them to do.
they're not.
How can
Well,
they be fractal though?
Well, you see how they're at like a 45-degree angle? What if there
Yeah,
was
do
like
they just-
another one like that? And
Oh,
another one
I
like
see.
this? Yeah.
Nice. I love it. Anyway, the buttresses the buttresses start to jut out violently, not attaching to anything except for what appears to be the sky. They just like jut out from nowhere and go upwards infinitely. Ad infinitum. So many buttresses, they just can't be stopped.
I'm going to die here. Adana, do you know any funeral rites?
Yes. Which branch would you prefer?
Oh, I'm not particular. Which do you want us to say for you?
And Adana just starts like launching into what I can only imagine is the most flowery, overdramatic, almost as if Charles Dickens himself wrote it. Fucking trying to get paid per the word. Funeral rites for the resonant breath.
And as you do that, 5 coffins start to rise out of the sand and slowly open their way up for each of you.
God.
Why would you manifest this?
I'm laying myself down to rest. I get in one of the coffins.
You get one of the rim salt coffins.
Yep.
Ew, they are rim salt. They smell like lime and the regrets of tequila. Not what
They smell
tequila
like-
smells like, but when you smell tequila and you remember all of your regrets.
Yep. I take one look at the great tequila sea. I say, I hardly knew ye.
I think Darius reaches in, grabs Solara's hands, and says, "We're not done yet. Let's go play. Come on. The ocean's right there."
Oh. Fine.
Just let me die.
No.
The
I can't
subline.
kill. I can't die. This place is the worst.
Let's
Don't
just
worry.
Sounds
get
like it's the
drunk.
veil.
Whether we did it or we didn't, he's dead. That's what matters, right? Let's celebrate. Who wants to go make our...
When you say that, Adonis starts crying all over again. Just, oh my god, he's dead! He's like curls up into her coffin and cries.
Oh God, you're right. We need to get her drunk.
With the more Adana cries, the water starts rising. She's crying so much. Her coffin has overflowed with her tears, and the tears are starting to flow down the castle, and the entire ocean level starts rising.
But I have a question.
Mhm.
Are they tears of tequila?
Yes.
Wow. I've never drank a day. Donna's never drank a day in her life. Sorry, I was about to tell a bull-faced lie.
Me, Liv, the player, never in my life.
So this tequila level's rising, y'all. What are y'all doing?
I'm quickly trying to create more buttresses to like keep me above water.
Oh, how fun.
But I don't think it's
They're
working.
just slides.
Yeah, they're just
this
slides.
situation.
They're just
They're just
slides.
slides.
I keep
They're
like sliding
there.
down onto another slide.
They're you know, he probably has a backup in once we get back to the Vale, we're just gonna boot him up and like it'll be Cyrus again. It'll be fine.
But I hope not.
You know what? Make yourself useful and drink some of these tears, please.
I think Darius just like slams his face into the water and just starts drinking as much as he can.
It's the smoothest tequila you've ever tasted.
Tears.
Meta question real quick. Do we want to take a break and continue this nightmare hellscape, or do we want to wrap up early and call it a night? What are we thinking?
I think we could wrap, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Solaris, you slap Adana across the face.
No!
And as you do,
I
everyone-
do not.
Mm.
Listen, putting my foot down, I do
okay,
not.
Okay.
I'll slap Adana across the face.
Okay, Larkin
There you
slaps
go.
Adana across the face. And as you do, you're in a nice, wonderful contemporary home. Suddenly, you have an immense knowledge of Spanish. You see film cameras everywhere for your telenovela. And that's where we're going to end our session.
I know.
Bienvenidos a todos.
Wait,
Next
so
week on Telemundo.
Next week on Cantor.
I like that. I like that roll there. Wait, so who killed Cyrus?
According to the rules, Darius did, but everybody did.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I was successful because I was last.
Yes.
He
I
was
mean, I
fun.
did drag him through like all of the rooms here.
He was tough. He was a tough one.
Took a whole
How dare
arm.
you?
You guys had fun.
I did.
Absolutely.
The actual game was a
Lewis
lot
Carroll
shorter.
is shaking somewhere, bestie.
Somebody mentioned it, but yeah, that first room was fully like Alice in Wonderland, Kingdom Hearts realness.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Oh fuck! There was one thing I wanted to do. I wanted to do someone like grabbed a hole off of a wall and put it on the ground. I forgot about that.
Oh my god.
But oh well. I hope y'all had fun.
was so
Type
fun.
in ! Chill to win a copy of Murder Most Foolish.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun little time. It's very short. I think it's a great way to get somebody into TTRPGs, especially if they're just into like doing a little bit of role play in. You can do a lot of fun.
I think if we had like doubled the number of like clues, locations, etc.
Yeah, we could have done like twice over. Done like actually, this person did it again to make it a little longer.
Always got a double tap.
Or they could have been like really elaborate death scene.
Yeah.
Oh, you get 2 from each column.
Oh my
Oh.
goodness.
And then I pushed him down the
Wow.
stairs, and then he fell into a box, and I mailed that box to myself.
And then you ran into my knife. ran
And
into
his
Into
horse.
my life 10 times.
He had it coming.
That was
boy.
fun though, Alex. Thank you.
Good job, Alex.
Fun.
Yay. Yeah. I had a blast. This is a lot of fun.
This was really fun.
Oh no. Paco.
What's it say, Liv?
Gosh, oh my gosh, that is the fucking question though, isn't it? ¿Quién es el padre de Adana?
Yeah.
¿Quién son los
Can I was gonna say, can I
Los
can I
tres.
actually read this? Can I actually read this? Probably not, but en el próximo capítulo.
Do you want to read out loud?
In the final moments?
Something like that. Is that
in the last chapter?
Yeah.
Or no,
Who's
in the
the dad
next
of Adana?
Sorry.
Do you remember the video of theirs? Here's the secret. I'm half Mexican and yo entiendo español pero no hablo bien. En el próximo capítulo será Larkin capaz de decir la verdad sobre su pasado. ¿Quién es el padre de Adana? Recupera la vista de Darius. That's all I got. That's it.
Nice,
And we will never
nice.
speak a Java Spanish on this show ever again.
Until next week.
Ooh, until next
When
week.
we're playing.
I'm a Duolingo that Spanish. It's gonna be a good time.
You just
Damn,
went
in a
to
week?
No.
Yeah, vamos a practicar.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
make the owl proud. Come on.
I'm not letting that owl into
owl.
my life.
I
gonna
am
hunt you
disappointed that
down.
owl more than I've disappointed my parents.
Yeah.
Like,
I felt worse about that.
The
So
mighty
passive
meeple.
aggressive though. Oh my
that
goodness.
owl's a gaslighter. Like,
Absolutely.
We're gonna
Gaslight
stop
for
sending
boss
you-
gatekeep.
We're gonna stop sending you those notifications because you're not listening. So
It's fine. I'll stop talking to you. I didn't really
make
like teaching you anyway.
JK, here's another message.
deadass. What's more toxic, my last ex or the Duolingo owl? Anyway,
Let's not say it out loud. It's gonna hunt us down.
That's so true.
But it
I've
is.
heard rumors of like people talking out loud about Duolingo and then it messages them.
Yeah, I've heard of people like skipping their Duolingo notifications for like a month, and then they're gone.
Hey Duolingo, do you want to sponsor us? We love you guys.
also will accept Babbel for sponsors.
just not Rosetta
What if
Stone.
they did? What if Duolingo became like the next Voodoo Ranger and just started sponsoring streamers like right and left?
Let's go.
What's
Let's do it.
Voodoo Ranger is?
Voodoo Ranger sponsors so many streamers.
I would. Okay, I believe you.
Congrats
We'll talk
to the
about
Mighty
this later.
Meeple.
Is the mighty people here?
Yay!
Won the giveaway. They're subscribers.
Are they?
So.
Oh, okay, wonderful.
Hell yeah.
Yay!
But yes,
Not
next
us.
week we're gonna be playing Pasión de las Pasiones. I'm gonna be running it. I feel nothing but fear.
Why?
You're gonna do great.
You're gonna be great.
Nah, it's fine. Anyway, I'm Liv. I played Adana. Catch me.
Where can we
tomorrow
find you,
night.
Liv?
You can find me on Twitter at livinaday, LIVINADAY. I'm your gal. I'm your girl, your gal, your non-binary pal. I'm hanging out, playing games with all my friends. Tomorrow, I'm gonna be on In Too Deep over on Will of Lore, which is an all queer LGBTQIA plus stream where we're being gay, doing heists, and funny enough, witnessing murders.
Ooh.
We got
That's
left on a
thematically appropriate.
cliffhanger. Yeah. Your girl Anar, who I play, witnessed a whole murder. And then the GM was like, see you next week.
What about you, Guilty? Where
Wow.
can we find you?
Hello. I have been and continue to be guilty. You can find me anywhere at Guilty Cosplay, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, OnlyFans, Patreon. I don't use those last two, but I locked down the names just in case.
That's
YouTube.
smart.
Brand recognition.
Smart.
I know. Someone stole Etsy from me, so I was like, fuck.
What?
Have you
I
tried
know.
buying
There's
it?
another Guilty Cosplay who's not me who has the Guilty Cosplay Etsy, and I was like, oh hell no. So
Have
I
you
took
tried
it.
buying
I
the
just
name
only
from
That
them?
is the thing that you wouldn't use.
Why would you fucking do that though? If I've already got 2,000 people on Instagram, why would you take my?
Because they
Anyway.
want
Probably
to make
so that
money.
they could sell it to you.
Yeah.
No, they like sell 3D printer files. And
Oh,
they
they're like a
They're
legitimate
real.
person.
I
Got
know,
it.
but like, come on, really?
Oof.
Anyway,
So
Hey,
if we find you,
if you find the fake guilty, we've already given you like 5 different ideas for murder.
yeah.
Just saying.
I'm gonna sign
If
them
you
up for
find the real
Duolingo.
guilty,
Yes. I am here on Mondays, and then I'm on my own channel Sundays and Tuesdays. This coming Sunday, I'm gonna be running Monster Hearts in our ongoing, but you don't need to have watched the last one campaign. It is reunion and commencement at Gilbert College, and Keith is going to be back with me as a player. I've also got Drac, who's incredible in the chat, and Jake from Q Times, and Jade, aka Semi Precious Stone, is going to be playing Ada, who's been our NPC since day one. Now playing the mortal skin. It's very fun, and I'm so excited. So yeah, catch us on Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific.
What a stacked cast.
That's gonna be so
I'm so
fun.
excited.
you
Keith,
should
where can we
also
find
watch
you?
the last episode where Keith debuted.
Oh yes.
Oh my god, that
Shout
was
out
so
Spring
Void
break
fun.
in the
in the chat.
Feywild.
I banged someone's
Shout out
cousin.
to Void.
So so
Who's
hi,
cousin?
I'm Keith. I usually GM on this. Oh, oops! I almost killed Alex. Sorry. I usually GM on Under the Table on Wednesdays. You can find me on Sundays playing Dungeons and Dragons. I think 3 weeks from now we're gonna take a little break from our usual UTT narrative to play what is it, Minions, a game about people who try to serve some sort of dark lord. So we're gonna be drunk, we're gonna be really I don't know, we're gonna figure it out. It's gonna be crazy. I think it's gonna be me, Adana, Janine, Jacob, and maybe some other people. So look
Yes,
forward to
me.
that.
Adana's gonna be playing.
Wait,
sorry,
what?
Liv.
Yes, yes.
What is this?
Me, and I will be serving my Dark Lord.
We keep joking about having like an in-character TTRPG stream, but I think we should.
I absolutely agree, and I blacked out. What is this stream?
It's I'll tell you afterwards. It was for that tweet that someone, I think it was you who posted it into our messaging.
Oh, nice.
But anyway, catch me on Guilty's channel on Sunday.
What's the channel?
Guilty Cosplay.
How nice. John, where can we find you?
So I don't stream outside of this, but I'm here every Monday. You can also find me at sf.social/@John, an alternative Twitter. You can, I don't know, instead of the time you would spend watching me stream something, you should go and check out Unlock the Box. It is a wonderful campaign to end solitary confinement in the United States. This is, in fact, the only thing that is recognized as torture that we still allow in the penal system here in the United States. Unfortunately, it is also extremely popular amongst Southern Rust Belt states. So you should, if you're in the States, call your representatives, tell them it's a bad thing to torture people. Go do that.
Humanitarian King. So to follow that up, hi, I'm Alex. I stream on Twitch. That's about it. You can find me at Cobalt Gear on Twitch and Twitter and everywhere else, basically anything. I have been, I guess, your detective GM for the night, which has been fun. Do we have someone we go on a raid? Oh yeah, also Free Palestine.
Absolutely.
Fuck
We are
yeah.
rating Q Times.
Hell yeah, we love to see Q
Times.
times.
Yes. I noticed that Critical Role was on, so
Weird. What are
weird.
they doing on a Monday?
True.
Oh, they were doing a game with Abria.
Oh,
They're doing a game
Abria!
with-
Yay!